It's commonly misinterpreted and sometimes interchangeably used. Do you agree with me? If you agree with me, give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Yes. Similarly, as they may sound, or both vastly differ meaning. I would say knowing the difference between customer service versus customer experience between these two seemingly equal terms will empower each of you to improve how to serve your current or your future customers, or even your internal customer as well. Who are your internal customers? Even your internal stakeholder. Exceeding your guest expectation and creating a memorable moment will result in a lifelong positive impact. Do you agree? So I would say customer service actually is a key component of the entire customer journey. While customer experience, as is the CX, is all the interactions between yourself and your brand and advice of your customer or your potential customer or your even friends around you, maybe your potential customer as well, or your suspect. So this is to understand the nuances between the both, and we need to always dig deeper into each of them. So this is the basic what I have understand between customer service versus customer experience. Over to you, moderator. I shouldn't take too much.
Very, very nice input. Very nice insight. Now, I would request Dr. Pichai to go next and let us have a brief introductory remark on the topic of customer service and customer experience. Please, Dr. Pichai. You are muted, Dr. Pichai. You are muted. Please unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
Okay.
Please.
A very good evening, moderator and panelists. It's a great pleasure for being at this occasion, and you're allowed me to say a few words about customer services and experiences. In fact, the whole world rely on customers. Without customers, there is no business. Customer satisfaction is a very vital thing for every individual business people. If they are not satisfied or they are not pleased, we will be losing all our business. And customers experience the problems they encounter during the transactions. So I believe it's a very good topic for us to share our views and our minds in order for us to let others know what is all that about. And I'll be going deeper in time to come. So thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Ram, can we hear from you?
Thank you, Mr. Arun, sir. Really wonderful for making us together here for this wonderful panel discussion about customer service and customer experience. As per the quote defined by Mahatma Gandhi, customer is your God. There is nothing else to make the proposition or projections. Without customer, there is nothing. So every business, they have accumulated certain kind of values, value projections, value propositions. If it is not endorsed with the customer-centric values, they cannot able to sustain. So the customers are the backbone supporter, backbone procurer. So we have to formulate our strategies, our business values according to the customer-centric phenomena. As of now, there are divergent people available in the education sector, non-education sector, or by the age group, because the millennials and new generation population, they are surrounded with gadgets. If your business may not pursue the value to attract those generation, you are outdated. So that's why now the battle between offline business to online business, we can talk about that with the questions coming out from moderator as well as from the audience. Thank you. I wish to have the wonderful panel session today. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. It was wonderful. I think we are in for a very dynamic time. Customer service, as we all know, is a very age-old concept, as Dr. Pichai rightly observed. Or, in fact, Dr. Ram and Ms. Angela also observed that without customer, there is no world of business. And we all are customers. So customer service is as old as man himself. But it was Lou Carbone in 1994 who observed for the first time the term customer experience. I would like to know from Dr. Angela, by throwing, she can start and then we can get into the discussion. As Dr. Pichai has already indicated, he is going to be giving us much deeper insight. So what is then the basic difference between this thing called a customer experience and a customer service? And which do you think is more important in the world of customer retention and customer loyalty? Yes, Madam Angela, you can start the discussion. Then we can have Dr. Pichai and Dr. Ram pitching in, and then we can have a good discussion between the three of you, which will enlighten us. Please.
How many of you here, if you can type in the chat group that you ever have a very good customer service being treated to you and you love the journey? That's what I call customer experience. If you have, maybe in the chat, Zoom chat, you can type 1688, 1688. So I would say a good way to define customer service is the act of taking care of the customer needs by providing and also delivering professional, helpful, high quality service and assistance before, during, and after a purchase of a product or a service. It is meeting the needs and desire of any customers. So if you were to ask, if you have ever had this kind of customer service, I would say it actually embraces the human element within the buyer journey. So I would say in turns, it also allows such clients to evaluate your company's overall value. Simply stated, the quality of service supported that a customer gets will fundamentally affect his perception of your brand as a whole. Example, you see a very bright orange McDonald's. Have you ever experienced when you walk into the McDonald's, even the kids love it because they actually make you feel special, okay? So they know they want to make you feel special. They express your appreciation. They call by your name. They ask for your name. And then they also thank you. And they pay attention to you. And they look into the eyes when you do ordering. So you feel that they are listening to you. And they always be presentable as a business as well. So I would say a customer-centric culture can be viewed as a customer experience-minded team, as a sport that requires the involvement of everyone in the organization. So I would say, and even it would also allow workers to improve their customer skill by demonstrating empathy in the rise of an issue that is being, when there is an issue being raised, understanding the root cause of a customer complaint, and we can also personalize solution to the cause, or in the case in matter. And everybody love to be empowered, and we empower them and not to be judgmental, and we best deliver quick and solution to the customer that we are facing. And this is the approach I would say. So customer experience is how a client feels about the whole interaction within a business involves everywhere a customer interacts with a person, a company at all stages of a buyer journey. That's all I want to talk. That's the difference that I always equate as. Back to you, moderator. Maybe the rest of the panelists can give their views.
Thank you, Angela, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Pichai, maybe a deep dive from you would be very interesting.
Yeah, I concur the views of Angela, and I think she has put it very well. The importance aspects of customer service and customer experience. And she has shared very good information that we have learned. Basically, customer service is something that every customers expect. Whenever they go to a supermarket, or they go to a food outlet, or they go to anywhere, they want them to be, even at the petrol station, customer service is very important. If you don't treat a customer well, the customer will not come back to your place again. He will leave the place forever. But important is, if you have a thing, welcome, sir, I'm here to serve you. Are you? What can I do for you? Such words, pleasing words, makes a customer very much what you call with affection and passion. So we notice that especially in the big food restaurants, the server will come and ask, sir, what can I do? What can I give you? So what type of service do you need from me? At certain places, like they don't do that. But basically, in most of the restaurants, we do see that such type of what you call atmosphere is being in practice. What I feel here is, if such passions and love and affections are shown to customers, no customers will leave the what you call the supermarket or the food outlet or even anywhere, even car service and so on. After that, they observe that they've been given a good service, and they do convey canvas to others. Hey, yesterday I went to this place. He gave me a very good service. My hospitality was so great that I was so pleased. My children were given some free ice creams, free what you call juices. So I'm overwhelmed with that of services. So these are the common things that we need. So wherever the most important factor for a business to develop and grow and to reach the target is good customer service. If one fails to do that, then that outlet or that entrepreneur is going to have a very big setback. From there, we come back to customer experiences. In many cases, customers it's not easy to satisfy them. They won't be satisfied. They will always give some form of reason and say that I didn't have a good service. I was a bit taken off by these people, but it's common, human's nature. So let us go for the positive side and accept it. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Ram. So what is your observation about this? Lou Carbone's statement, his definition of a customer experience as enumerated in his book, Engineering Customer Experience in 1994. So what do you personally feel about the difference between customer experience and customer service? And how is it relevant to customer retention and loyalty?
Definitely, it would be very nice when we are discussing about the experience. So always the experience gaining, especially from the customers, because as already I mentioned, there are divergence kind of population available. So every customer is very unique. We cannot say all customers are same. So we have to categorize the customers and their needs. So we have to get the feedback. Usually the feedback, many companies, especially the branding companies, they are formulating because they wanted to extract the concern or any other opinions from the customers by the way of providing the feedback form. Or they are making them to attract something, the feedback to give for certain strategies, whether it is implemented perfectly, whether it is satisfying the customer needs or customer requirements, and so on. Without that, we cannot able to gain any kind of experience or some sort of solutions which are very much needed to make the upscaling kind of service, which are very much concerned about the customer needs or requirements. As Ms. Angela also mentioned about that, the branding is retaining the customers. Now the traffic is very competitive to create the customers to follow the company. Then the retainability is another kind of problematic issues for many people. They have to satisfy in many ways, actually the price, the quality, the need of the time, many things. Even now, many people, they are following app oriented kind of customer retainability. If you are ordering something, you can get it in to your doorstep kind of things. But there are many opinions, many kind of differentiation. There are various kind of factors available. It is not coming on time, it is getting scrapped or something damaged. There are a lot of reports. So every company must needed to look into the very careful manner how to address the customer requirements. That is the experience, making them more powerful, more strong to provide the particular quality oriented customer service. Without that, they cannot able to do the wonderful things. Even though now the online based kind of feedback forms, they wanted to endorse for certain kind of quality to retain from the public. There are many new companies, they are emerging in this kind of streamline. They are taking all these customer behavior or customer sense through the online basis, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other parts also involving with that. So now very much it is divergence. As I already mentioned, offline business is entirely different, but online business entirely different. So we are moving towards with the online basis integrated with different kind of elements, solutions, and supports. So it is giving some exact value where the customer stands for, where the customers wanted to retain for. So that values we must need to procure for the business. If we don't consider, we don't add value in that particular segments, we will miss the customer. Thank you. Over to the moderator.
Thank you, panelists. It's been wonderful listening from you. Now, I'll just like to go a bit more deeper into this differentiation between customer service and customer experience with your permission. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you see, customer service is a term which came into existence in 1760 when the Industrial Revolution came. And there was an awareness in the mind of the manufacturers and the providers of service and product that special service needs to be given to the customer. But with the advent of design thinking and the definition of a customer journey from intention to manifestation, the word customer experience came into existence as enumerated by Lou Carbone in his book, Engineering Customer Experience. We all know that in the world of commerce, Zappos, in the world of hospitality, Ritz-Carlton, in the world of online business, Amazon, they have all become very famous and number one because of their ability to create a great experience for the customer. So if you were to separate the grain from the chaff, that is customer experience from customer service, what three things would you recommend the people who have come here to do so that they can create a better customer experience and ensure a greater loyalty to their customers? Please.
I would
Yes,
say,
Angela.
yeah, the reactive versus the proactive. So when we say providing a customer service actually directly independent on the client, actively reaching out for assistance either via on their preferred channel. So those that are on online, they always have email, phone, or even social media, or even a live chat, etc. So alternatively, if you want a customer experience, it's all about anticipating the needs of a given client. Agree? So don't wait for the customer to raise an issue and to resolve their problems or meet their requirements as well. So So when we say we want to provide customers with a great customer experience, companies need to become intuitive now. We must learn from previous or common issue, and also we should also get a better understanding of the customer needs and expectation. We can put ourselves in the shoe as this way. We have this, how the journey of a customer will face. So for that, figures from previous interaction can be analyzed, okay, in provided the improvement before customers ever encounter any issues. And of course, with this, it allows such company to behave preemptively rather than wait for problems to arise. So I would say is reactive versus proactive, if you want to say about customers. So don't just wait for problems to issue, but we anticipate.
Beautiful insight, Madam Angela. Beautiful. Customer service is reactive, customer experience is proactive.
Yes.
The more you ensure that service is not required, like someone said from Ritz-Carlton, no service is the best customer service that can be given. When there is no necessity for a service, when you use, and today, one big advantage we have got is the big data analytics, which is allowing us to get a deeper insight into the customer psyche through their behavior, ensure that they are not required to be served. And, they don't require that service. They feel at home. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, Dr. Pichai, we would like to hear from you.
It's a very good presentation by Angela, proactive and active. My opinion is this: perfection. Perfection is a very high anticipation from all customers. They want a good service given by the what you call the entrepreneur for any form of services rendered by them. But in the end, when you take a voting of their perception, they feel that they are not being well treated. It's a common human nature. No appreciation for good service given. Basically, wherever you go, they say, no, I don't enjoy the food. The food was not that good. They didn't serve me well. They were not really to the standard that I was expecting. It's very common. But basically what I feel is every individual or every businessman wants to give a very good service to their own customers. In coming to electronic industry, we base on after-sales services. They would have bought electrical equipment, there will be some malfunction, and they go back, they will say, I have to report immediately tomorrow. They would have called the company concern. The company say a lot of procedures to comply. When did you bought it? How did you bought it? Who sold you? A lot of things. So these are the place where they got agitated and frustrated that the after-sales service is not to the expectation. This comes under the customer experiences. To me, I consider there must be certain tolerance adopted, give and take policy. No one is perfect and no one is right. What we have to do is we have to give and take. If there is an error, if there is something improper, always the customer has the right to tell the entrepreneur or whoever the person is, sir, you can improve on this, give a recommendation to them. By that, we can create a very good atmosphere and a lovely whereby both customer service and customer experience can be in a moderate form. That's my personal opinion, sir.
Excellent, excellent. In fact, Dr. Pichai, you are very right. That is the reason why today's world of customer service and customer experience, FCR has come to be a very, very important factor. FCR means first contact resolution. Because the more you delay the service, the more you delay the resolution of the problem, the more you lose out. A recent survey of 97,000 companies has shown that 71% of the customers leave you after the first negative experience and 92% leave you after the second negative experience. And the more you delay, the more you generate disloyalty. In fact, today the leading trend in the industry is customer service is more responsible for disloyalty rather than for loyalty and retention. This is very much in alignment with what Madam Angela said. You have to be proactive. There is no place for reactive behavior in the world of a customer. The customer, as you rightly said, Dr. Pichai, it would be very, very advisable and appreciable. The customers are tolerant, but they are not, and they will not be. Because you see, we are asking them to move away from their normal life. When something goes wrong, there is a disruption in the normal life, which they don't like. Yes, Dr. Ram, I would like to hear from you. What exactly is your take on this?
Customer service or customer experience ended with customer satisfaction. If you don't have the satisfied customers, there is no value to retain them. As you rightly pointed out, they may wait for first time, second time, then they run away. They will spoil by the word of mouth to others also. Or if you are having the satisfied customers, they are the promoters for your business. Through them, you can able to create another sales funnel, sales marketing kind of channels open up. If satisfied customers are retained by the particular company, they don't care about anything because the sustainability of the customer is the greatest strength for the business. As many companies, they are putting up a lot of efforts to draw all these proactive and reactive kind of things. How do they able to satisfy the customer? The feedback forms and other things, as I already mentioned, these are all the values to figure out, and the problem solving solutions you have to endorse. If you don't work on it, you cannot able to retain the valued customers. You will lose, then the loss will be amended to the company. Many companies, they cannot endorse all these kind of facts and they are disappearing in the nature. So we must need to give more attention. The customer engagement, customer behavior, customer satisfaction. These three are core component for the valued customer to retain with the business, whatever you are doing. Either it may be a product oriented or service oriented or any kind of engagement with the customers. If you are retaining the satisfied customer, it is the asset for the business. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Excellent, excellent. You know, very, very objective observation from you that the satisfaction of the customer is ultimately what is going to speak. You see, today in the world of customer, we are talking a lot about net promoter score, of how much a customer is going to evangelize your product in your company. And that is going to be a direct result of how satisfied he is with your product, with your service, with your relationship. That's why today customer relationship management has come to mean so much. When we are talking about customer relationship management, as you have pointed out, I would like to know where you would like to focus your customer relationship management program on the entire customer journey leading to an experience. That means from the moment of identifying you have a need for a service to manifesting that in the form of purchase and getting it serviced, that is the customer experience. Would you rather focus your customer relationship management on this spectrum, or would you focus it on the customer service spectrum, where there is a one-on-one relationship or one-on-one interaction, be it on the digital platform or on a personal level? Yes, Madam Angela.
We say that about interaction and ownership, regardless whether your customer interaction is a face-to-face or online, whatever customer service team you have are the people directly responsible for helping customers or assisting customers with whatever issues they are facing. So that comes after the customer experience. On the other hand, is about shared across the entire organization, from the marketing and sales to product and product teams as well. So I come from MNC like Intel, Microsoft, Cisco system. So they are very customer experience centric company. Okay. So we also, then you will think of how do we measure customer service versus customer experience. So I can share what in both others, US tech company MNC, they measure and service quality and overall customer satisfaction. They actually will measure what we call as the NPS. It's called the Net Promoter Score. It's actually a standard indicator used by companies worldwide. It's to measure a customer propensity to recommend a certain brand. Likewise for Intel, when you say a chip, which one will you think of? Intel versus what's the other one called? There's only two chips, or you only know Intel. So the NPS score is also easily comparable to that of your direct competitors as well. I would think so, and also market leader. And NPS follows the journey from the start to the finish. It's more adaptable to measure the customer experience that is being ideal to reflect the customer's global feelings towards a brand at hand. So in all these US MNC, tech MNC, we also have what we call as the CSAT, Customer Satisfaction Score. Actually, it's a metric that analyzes the degree to which a customer is satisfied with, okay? And because the CSAT is measured after the interaction or a product usage, it is more adaptable to measuring the quality of a customer service. So in this MNC that I work with, they always measure these two scores. Customer service versus customer experience under as a Net Promoter Score and a customer satisfaction score, CSAT. Yeah. I hope I didn't confuse everyone here. I'm just sharing what in my past experience, corporate experience with all these US MNC. Yeah.
Yes, it is directly, but the next customer satisfaction score directly reflects upon the Net Promoter Score, because the more satisfied your customer is, the more likely he is to promote your product and evangelize your product with the outside world. You're absolutely right in that. There's no doubt about it. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Now, my question is, this customer relationship management tools which companies are today using, where should they be focusing it on? On the total customer journey, starting from the website to the service, or to one particular segment which they identify as being a problematic segment for themselves?
A CRM, a customer relationship management, is actually at the point when you actually collect someone's name card and you input it into the system. So it's a tool. You are trying to collect data where you have. So it is from the start. They may not be your customer, but they are your prospect or suspect. I call it as. So it is actually a tool that you use to be a database of all your contacts. So likewise, at this juncture, when you sign up using the Zoom registration, we are all suspect already. And then after that, we become prospect. And then after that, you become customer or client. The highest to go is to become a client. Yeah, they are your clients. That means you can go out with them even in a very social gathering. It becomes client. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Pichai, we would like to hear from you.
Yeah. In fact, Angela has given on a very good, what you call deliverance on multinational corporations, how they do assess customer service and customers' experiences. Appreciable. It's a great appreciation to her. Coming back to my strategy of thinking of customer service experience, customers service retention. When you look at that scope of thing, we have to make it more what you call prominent. every outlets or service centers, they should have a survey record. What is the customers need? What are they want from the anticipated from the what you call the traders or wherever they are distributors and so on. Because basically customers, we can't satisfy them because they claim that the money they are paying is not worth for what they are paying. So what is worth? Let us hear from them. Let us get a survey from each of, even from a food outlet, a KFC, or whether it is McDonald's, or whether it's a Sony distribution center, Sony electronic center or something. Let us make a survey and see. But when we come, if we get end of the survey, I can say, I can pre-anticipate the result will be 80% will be against, 20% will say, yes, they have given a good service. Human nature is such. So in this world, we have to go for tolerance. They should understand the consequences of being a trader. I mean, every customer, they want the satisfaction, but not to the extent of overdoing things, to in a way that they waste so much of money and time. That's my perception, sir.
Very, very, very astute observation, because one of the results of the survey conducted by the 97,000 companies, it was shown that customer service led to 81% of the people becoming disloyal. Because when do people come for this, as you are rightly observing, when they come to the outlets for this service, there is a problem which has occurred due to which they have come there. There are two types of service. One is when you are going for the shop and you interact with the people, that is a service. But more often than not, customer services, when there is a problem, you approach the company to sort it out. When there is a problem, already you've gone to the negative. The resolution of the problem brings you back to zero only. It doesn't take you beyond that. And if there is any hiccup during that period and the FCR fails, automatically there is disloyalty. You're absolutely right, Dr. Pichai, in this observation that 80% are likely to say that they are not happy.
You can't satisfy them.
And them means us. We are all customers.
Rarely, if you make a survey record and if you observe the survey record, 80 to 90% of them are against a good service.
Yeah, this is very much in tune with what the observation is.
So, and when we ask them for a feedback, how can we improve? They don't give any feedback. They don't give any feedback. Okay, you're not satisfied. How can I make you satisfied? What is your proportion? What is your form of introduction for a good service? No response. But just hearsay. We say you're not doing a good service. You're not doing a good service to bring the reputation, integrity of a corporation or a company low. So this common attitude observed by the customers, they should do something about it. They should think wisely before they talk what they are talking about. That's my perception.
Okay. Very, very valid observation. You want that they should be more empathetic about the problems faced by the corporates also.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Ram.
Yeah, it is wonderful when talking about the customer relationship management. I can tell you one case study when I was hearing that. I don't want to mention the company name. They are very good retail service holder, especially for the home appliance and electronics. When they planned to go to overseas, they opened up a showroom in Thailand, but they couldn't able to succeed what they are doing in Singapore the same way. So what I wanted to mention here, the customer satisfaction is not only with the satisfied mind, but their expectations are divergent, as Dr. Pichai correctly pointed out. They are not very honest to tell you through the feedback survey or whatever the way you wanted to extract. But it is the way, if you are very smart and intelligent, you can extract that kind of values, what they are expecting from you. Still, we know all these competitors, especially for the season-oriented business, garments and other sweet shops and many more things. They are doing all these kind of survey, all these kind of marketing strategy to pull the customer. Again and again, the same customers are repeatedly going to take the garments from the particular shop. It is the returnable value, what they are satisfying the customers. So the customer relationship management is you have to treat the customers as your family people. You have to go beyond the box or beyond the capacity to satisfy them by way of providing certain kind of value exchange. Business is nothing. It is the value exchange from the service provider to the customers. That's all. So what they are spending the money, it is the value for them. What they are getting the products or service, it is also the value. If you are satisfying the value, that is why we earlier we mentioned customer centric values. Ms. Angela also correctly pointed out the MNC companies are putting up their efforts towards with the customer centric values. There are many components, many elements, many things available in the ecosystem. As I already mentioned, you are good in one location, but you are not good in all locations. You cannot able to attract and satisfy the same way what you are doing in West, what you are doing in the East. So we must need to address the local culture, local ethnic ethics, and the belief system. Because if you don't satisfy the customer's personal values, personal expectations, you cannot withstand with the long run. Especially for the fast food kind of chain stores, we can see a lot of fast food chain stores are available from the Western area. But why Subway is having the largest outlet and compared to McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, and so on? Because the component what they are providing is satisfying the customers. That is the way they are getting the returnability and the values from the customer for the long run. That is the way you are addressing the value of the customer. You can able to endorse all these kind of components involved in your business, especially customer relationship personality you have to keep up, and then the problem solving solution provider. These two people are very much important for any business. Either you can have in your own company or you can outsource them from very expertise group of companies. These two people are providing the correct solution and the returnability factors for you to analyze as the survey performs or any other. That's why I mentioned there are a lot of things are available. The people who are sitting at home by online manner, they are providing the feedback values for the company to gain money. There are people, they seldom they create this kind of wealth generation for them, because all these factors are coming from different mindset of the people will value add for the company to look into that and be able to get ready for that kind of customer satisfied solution they can endorse with the business. So we must need to have correct values with the customer relationship management system. Then we can able to provide the solution for the customer experience which are satisfying their needs. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. We have really had some excellent insight from the panelists today. Now we are just 10 minutes away from the close of the program. So I would like to throw the platform open to the audience. If they have any question from any of the panelists, please go ahead. Is that okay, my dear friends? If anyone,
Okay.
yes, Dr. Salim, you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Whom do you want to ask?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. And it's my appreciation to good friend, Dr. Ram, who always remembers me in such interesting interaction. By the way, I quite deep into this particular topic from the lens of sustainability and what Ma'am Angela was mentioning, including other people. I have few terminology really, which is emerging. Delight, from customer satisfaction to customer delight. There are issues on green, genuine green. So linking the customer service with the value addition in terms of environment and society. One other thing, that is a change from a mere push to pull, with Ma'am Angela may support this, that a best service is when you create such a marketing ambience and customer satisfaction ambience that it transits from a push to a pull. So that creates loyalty and that retains, and they can be the partners in creating new ideas also. Just one question to the panelist. This ESG, environment, social governance, and so-called greenwashing. So what do you have to say, and how would you like to see customer responsibility management shifting from customer relationship to a customer responsibility? I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Yes. Who would like to take the question?
ESG, I think ESG has been around for the last 10 years, even when I'm still in my corporate experience in the MNC. So if you were to ask environmental, social governance, this is also, you are if you are doing products that or services that is related to environment, it still boils down to that it's also a customer service and a journey that you want your customer to experience. So it is still the same as the fundamental of it as well to me. So it's about ESG is about also you need to know what is your customer expectation. So in this post-pandemic era, customer expectations are now an explicit and permanent reality following a year of transformation and adaptation as well. Okay, so ESG is about that. So we now have to know that some of the new expectations that have to be kept in mind and include an insistence on ethical practices, convenience, and the purpose as well. So I would say if we need to prioritize 24/7 ability of a products and information is the most important thing. People may not know what's ESG about. If you are into this, then you need to have a website that you educate them. Okay, and of course, if they need certain information like check download insights or a report, and you need to be your site or something like that is able to provide them as well, and for them to read further. So there is a match of the customer experience journey to those who are interested in ESG. This is my opinion on the understanding the customer expectation on the ESG.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Yes. Mr. Andrew, you have a question? You can unmute and ask.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot. I do have a question. I mean, I'm personally in the food, in the food business, and they're just really starting up. How can you manage, customer experience so that you do not have a situation where you sell them food and they're dissatisfied and never come back? How do you go about making sure that you don't mess up the first time? Thank you very much.
Yes, who would like to take it?
Maybe the first question I asked Andrew, have you ever walked into a restaurant or a cafe and you don't want to visit again?
Yes, that's why. Yes, I have. That's why I'm trying to make sure that I don't end up in such a situation.
Yeah.
I'm
So
from
what
Zambia.
is
Zambia
the
is a very
one
small
thing?
market.
Yeah. So what is the one thing that actually you don't want to go back again? I would believe it's the taste of the food, you know. And how many of you think is the taste of the food? I believe, I'm not so sure. This is so if the taste of the food is good, really very good, and it's so nice and authentic, and they will just come back. So maybe how about the rest of the panelists? What do you think of?
Yeah, it is making the feeling the customer's choice, because as I already mentioned the case study, why do they run to the Subway rather than the burgers? Because it is entirely different. Because they prefer that kind of choice of food. They wanted to have that, and it is providing the healthy, nutritious, green food. So that is the way that they are getting more attracted. So when compared to the previous thing, the ESG, the social concern, if the company endorsed for this ESG, the customers also believe that system, they are retaining the environment, social governance, and it is providing the value for them. The same way, Mr. Andrew also raised the question, unsatisfied customer means it is making lot of dimensions and the situations what they feel the unsatisfied kind of mindset. So we must either, it may be the price, it may be the choice, it may be the service, or it may be the ecosystem or the location, whatever it may be. So we have to address the particular things, because when I was in a training center, because of the location in the feedback form, I able to endorse that kind of thing, because they feel they are sitting in the east, they wanted to travel to the west to us, they could not able to satisfy. But we cannot able to move to the east because our location in west. So that kind of way, there's dissatisfaction they can express, but due course of time we have to value. So we have to move towards at least central push, central area of the country. So that kind of way, the accumulation of feedback, the survey reports make the sense for them, because every time we finish the training, we wanted to get back the feedback of the customers. We wanted to fulfill those kind of values wherever it is possible, however it is possible. If it is accumulating in the many kind of ways, then we cannot able to retain the customers with us, because it is matters. That's why I wanted to tell. So we must need to give the concern for the customers' voice, the customers' expectations, the customer-centric values. It might be anything, because even we are providing some kind of breakout time, the drinks and all, they are putting a lot of expectations, but we cannot satisfy, as Dr. Pichai already mentioned, we cannot make it perfect, we cannot satisfy 100% for all the customers, because their expectations are very wide. We cannot able to, but we can give the attention, we can provide certain kind of values to create and satisfy them. That would be a kind of added value for our business to retain the customer. That's the thing, my experience I wanted to share. Thanks.
I think Dr. Ram, you have said well. Coming back to Andrew's question, a lot of factors involved. See, in a food outlet, the expectation of the customer is very high. Cleanliness, atmosphere, hospitality, services, treatment, how it looks like. Do they charge for the water? Do they charge for the services? Or do they have any service tax? There are so many factors involved. If a person goes to an outlet and he enjoys the food and is very happy, he will come back again. There's no question about it. And if he's dissatisfied, even you give him 1,000 free outlet food also, he won't come back, because he's already programmed his mind. His mind says, no, no more, no more, no more to that outlet. So very important for any food outlet services, hospitality. Just welcome the people. Hello, sir, please come. You're most welcome to come to my place. There are a lot of nice places you can sit. You can take that corner of it or this corner of it, and our waiters are waiting for you to serve you. When you please them, they're so happy. But certain bosses, they run outlets without being present there. They let the workers handle it. The workers don't care whether you want to eat or don't eat. It's up to you. You pay and go. So such are the common factors that affects the outlets. So very important for any food outlet, a good hospitality, a good service, And there are some places where they give free what you call the the facial cleaning tissues and so on. But some places they charge 1 ringgit, 2 ringgit, sometimes $1, $2. So people are dissatisfied with all that. At times, we have to give and take. Everyone wants to take but never give. That's the main cause of failures. That's my perception.
Listening to Mr. Andrew's question, I was reminded of a survey which was conducted recently of most of the retail outlets, hospitality outlets, and things, and the companies were divided into 5 segments. They said that at the lowest part of the pyramid is the culture of uncertainty, where, like Mr. Andrew was saying, what should I do? Because they want to do well, but they really do not know how to go about doing it and where to touch base. At the next level of the pyramid, they found the culture of alignment, where the various parts of the company are aligned together and they are aligned with the expectation of the customer. At the third part, they had what they were calling the culture of experience, where in addition to this alignment and the understanding of the expectation of the customer, they were focusing on creating, as Dr. Salil was telling, a feeling of delight, an expression of delight. They were going the extra mile to create a positive experience. But they found that here, the real success did not happen even here. It happened at the next level, where there was a culture of ownership, where every company employee felt he was the owner of the company. There was total engagement. As we all know that the Gallup poll says only 17% of the employees are engaged, 83% are just motivated. But in a culture of ownership, there is total engagement. But then companies like Zappos, Ritz-Carlton, Amazon, they operate at the level of culture of amazement, where, at every point, Ritz-Carlton, I believe, they start the day with each employee coming and sharing what they have experienced as an amazing experience the earlier day with their customers. The total focus is on creating an amazing experience for your customer. That is where they say companies like Zappos, Ritz-Carlton, Amazon, Procter & Gamble, they really excel. So I would suggest to Mr. Andrews to go ahead and try to find out how he can move from this culture of uncertainty to a culture of alignment, where the entire employees are aligned towards the expectation of the customer. And then, maybe he can scale one by one. See, ultimately, knowing is winning. If you know that this is not happening or this is happening, you are ready for everything and anything. I think, we are just at 6:30. I leave it to the panelists to decide whether they want to continue. But it has been a wonderful experience. I'm honored to be associated with such erudite panelists, and I have been enriched by your observations. Thank you, all of you. And thanks to the audience. If any other question is there, please raise your hand. Otherwise, with the permission of the panelists.
Sorry, I just wanted to find out whether the recording will be made available so that I can go over it again.
Who is speaking?
This is Andrew.
Yes, Andrew. Tell me.
Yeah, I wanted to find out whether the recording will be made available. If we can access it and maybe listen to it later on, or that's it.
If you can send us your email ID and WhatsApp detail. You have registered and come, isn't it?
Yes, I am.
Then we must be having your email ID and WhatsApp detail. We will send you the recording if the panelists so agree.
Okay, thank you.
I would say because in Singapore, we also have, I handle a number of F&B. So what I see in the post-pandemic for the F&B, the emerging elements of a cafe customer experience that matter to the diners are, I call it as EEHDK. So the first E is called engage me. So interact with me in a friendly, authentic way. So be hospitality and genuine with me. So treat me as a person as well. So nowadays, even the business owner of the cafe or restaurant came out, or even the chef as well. Empower me. Another E, give me the ability to customize my specific needs. So value my feedback, and you must always remember this customer feedback and respond in an appropriate way. And then another H is called hear me. Demonstrate the awareness of the situation and acknowledge their needs as well, and listen to their unique needs. Okay. So I think there's also some panelists also talk about delight me, great moments beyond my expectation that I will remember and share your cafe to the social media. That is to say, you actually personalize my experience. Know me. Okay. Remember your customers, that your diners that walk in and their preferences as well. The moment the next time they walk in, anticipate of their changing needs. So this is how when I walk in to a certain, even a small cafe, this is what they are doing right now. EEHDK. I type inside the Zoom chat.
Thank you. You have a wonderful way of articulating your ideas, Angela, ma'am.
Thank you, moderator.
That's delightful.
I would like to say only one thing. If you want to tie the customer, how do you tie? Tie means T for trust, I for integrity, E for ethics. If they are having this kind of relationship by way of tie up with you, definitely you would not lose the customer. Satisfaction is coming through the trust, integrity, and ethics. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you, friends. Thank you, panelists, for a wonderful evening. We look forward to many such sessions with you. Maybe Dr. Ram would be interested in, having one more session,
Yeah,
or
definitely.
maybe some more, even more interesting and relevant to the times of the day. Something like, pandemic resilience.
Definitely.
That is corporate resilience. That is something which is very much in the air nowadays. People are talking a lot about it. I would request Dr. Ram to maybe arrange another panel discussion in the near future whenever he's free. And thanks a lot. I take this opportunity to thank every participant and the panelists. Thank you. Good day to you.
Thank you for your support and your kind of motivation for retaining the values and engaging the community to get progress in their business. It's also a kind of social learning. The way we want to share unconditional way, but only the affectionate things. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.